everyone, thanks for joining me today as I'm going to be doing some test hands for vampires. This is going to be quite exciting. Of course, this deck, be warned, it is going to break quite a bit because of the nature of this particular deck itself, being that we're playing plenty of cards that are actually beyond level 4. However, with that being said, hopefully we can actually pull off some combos because it is possible to actually achieve some of these really interesting combos as long as we're able to draw into the necessary cards when needed. However, that's enough talk, let's just get started. Alright, so 5 cards here. As we could see, there is some partial bricking to this. So as you can see here, we do have Unizombie, which is definitely a great starter, but as you can see here, we are definitely going to be struggling quite a bit. However, maybe we could actually make this work. So what we could actually start off with here is we have our Unizombie, which is obviously really great. We could use Unizombie's effect, allowing us to actually ditch a particular monster to our grave, either from the hand or deck. In this case, we can actually start off with a combo by going here, and we could ditch off either Familiar or Retainer. So in this case, it's a matter of whether or not you want to add a spell or trap or a monster from your deck to your hand. And in my particular situation, I'm kind of thinking, well, we already have a monster, so let's just add 4 spells and traps. So we have over here a Retainer, so I'm going to ditch it off to the graveyard, allowing our Unizombie to actually go up to 1 level, so it's now level 4. We can now use Retainer's effect, allowing us to actually special summon this out and then send our Scarlet Scourge to the graveyard. By doing so, we pretty much are able to well, just get that to the graveyard and special summon this out. So now we could actually add a spell or trap. Now in this case, you guys might be thinking, well, what could we actually add? Well, firstly, we have a level 4 Unizombie and we have over here a level 2 Retainer. So adding a desire to change the levels of Retainer doesn't really help us in this particular situation unless we're sending a level 4. But that being said, that's not really my goal here. So I was thinking maybe let's actually just go for the Domination because it actually sets up a negate right away. So with that being said, we have our Domination right here and we have our Retainer right now. So Retainer will actually get banished, but we have over here a 2 and we have a 4. So this will pretty much only allow us to go for a 6. We do have the option of a Book of Life, assuming your opponent might have something in their grave, but even so, it's not something that I would prioritize right off the bat. So I could actually just keep the field as is, or I could actually just also link summon and allow myself to go into something else as well. For example, I could actually go for a Vampire Sucker or even an Avendread Savior as well. Quite nice options available. Of course, I was thinking maybe if we went for the Avendread Slayer, that would be nice, but we could also just go for the Anaconda as well. That could definitely work. Add our second copy of Super Poly, which would definitely make your opponent kind of fear for what's to come. But even so, you bring this out, it's still pretty decent because either way, you have a Domination which you could set. You could also set down your Vampire Awakening, and then you would set down your Super Poly as well. So you definitely have quite a bit of options. Technically 3 Disruptors, and Awakening will summon out your Vampire, making your Domination viable. So in this case, your opponent's not going to think about the Domination at all. However, once you activate the Awakening, special summoning out your Vampire, then your Domination will be available, and you could summon out either Retainer, you could summon out whatever you actually need. You could even bring out Scourge, and then bring out your other Scourge as well, I think. No, you can't actually bring out Scourge, but it's fine. You could still bring out whatever you actually need for the following turn. And of course, you have Super Poly available and Book of Life ready as well. So, slow start, but definitely great setup for future turns. Alright, so opening hand here in this particular situation, definitely also very nice as well. We actually drew pretty well, so I'd say the first thing we could do here is go for Solitaire. Solitaire would then tribute itself, allowing us to go for our Unizombie. So we'll go for a Unizombie, use Unizombie's effect, allowing us to ditch our where are you, Mizuki to the grave, and by teaching off Mizuki, you'll gain a level 4. Teach again the Fraulein, allowing him to go to level 5 now. So from that, you could then banish off your Mizuki. Typical combo, of course, bring back your Fraulein. You have 2 level 5s out, so you're going to summon, special summon out your Ultima Zolkin, and that's pretty nice here. Then you also have Awakening as well, ready to set, and you pretty much get to bring out your Crystal Wing, or whatever other choice you actually want to go for as well. But either way, that's pretty much a really solid start for what you actually want to go for. And keep in mind, you also have Ash and another Solitaire ready to go on your next turn as well. So that's quite nice. 2 Disruptors, and you could potentially also go for an Awakening, allowing you to go for whatever you actually need in this case. Keep in mind that when you go for the Awakening, you could actually just summon out the Scourge. Scourge will then use its effect, summon out Fraulein as well during your opponent's turn. Your opponent will have a hard time getting over Scourge or Fraulein itself as well, and you just set up for next turn with the Ash as well and Solitaire. You're just doing really well here, so again, great setup for future turns. Alright, so here's another hand over here, definitely very nice. We start off with the Solitaire, and I think, yeah, that's what we'll actually start off with. So we'll go for Solitaire, tribute it off, get our Uni-Zombie out, so go over here. Definitely really great start, guys. That's why I kind of emphasized in the deck profile, I wanted to actually add in an extra copy of Solitaire to increase our chances of actually getting into Uni-Zombie, because it's a great card to actually just start you off for your combos. But this is a no-brainer. Uni-Zombie will easily send off Familiar to the graveyard, because you could combo off later on in the graveyard, and then Uni-Zombie will use its second effect, allowing us to actually send a Mizuki. But I'm also thinking, you know what, instead of sending Mizuki, let's give a bit of a variation in this particular play, and let's go for Gozuki instead. So with Gozuki, what we're going to do here is we could go for a Gozuki, of course. Let's go with, let's see, how should we do this? We can go for the Familiar first and bring this out. Right, yeah, we'll go for Familiar first by sending our Sorcerer to the graveyard. So this is kind of preparing us for the next turn anyway. And from that, Familiar will obviously be special summoned out, allowing us to summon add a vampire monster from our deck to our hand. So in this case, I'm going to add the Scarlet Scourge. And what else can I do here? So at this particular point, I was thinking we have Gozuki right over here, which is quite nice. So we're going to banish off the Solitaire and use Gozuki's effect, allowing us to summon out our Scarlet Scourge. And from that, Scarlet Scourge will then allow us to pay life points. So we paid 500 for this, paid 1,000 for this, and then we special summon out our Sorcerer. So it's definitely very nice. Now we have quite a nice board over here. Now this might seem excessive for us, but what we could do here is actually go for the Desire. Desire will allow us to target our Sorcerer in this case, and we'll change the level to maybe, I don't know, a 2. So that means we're going to send off our Retainer to the graveyard, and by sending off Retainer to the graveyard, we pretty much allow him to be a level 2, and now he's going to be active. So we'll send our Vamp from our hand to the graveyard and special summon out our Retainer. So we're just going to get out Retainer. So we pretty much have a full field now of vampires, and keep in mind this is definitely a great opportunity because Retainer allows us to search easily. We're going to get Domination without a doubt. We could just set it if we want, but yeah, we have over here a 1, we have a 2, another 2, a 6 and a 5. So you gotta keep track of your levels, but you can actually synchro summon. So you got a 5 here, you got a 1, and you got a 2. So these together pretty much allow us, well, these two will go and get banished, and this will go to the graveyard. But you're synchro summoning here for 8, so you could, well, obviously in this case you can't go for the Crystal Wing, but what you can actually go for is, well, you could actually go for the Void Ogre, because in this particular situation you won't have any cards in your hand. On top of that, you can just sit on the Sorcerer and the Scarlet Scourge, and you're looking at a pretty decent board right here, because in this particular scenario, you pretty much have 1 negate, 2 negates, but you know, it's normally the case that you'll always have 2 negates, but on your following turn, keep in mind you also have Gozuki's effect, so depending on what you draw into, things will go well. And even if you manage to draw into something of, I guess, a high level, you have a Sorcerer over here, so you could always just link it away and then use its Grave effect, allowing you to combo off later on. So again, this time gives us a nice disruption, double disruption, and then also we are still going to be able to continue our plays on the following turn. Alright guys, so it seems like turn 1 test hands actually took a lot longer than usual, and together with the turn 2 test hands, this might end up being a very long video, close to 30 minutes. I don't want to do that, so I'm going to split this video up in 2, and hopefully I can upload both videos on the same day. So yeah, if you guys are watching this, then you're obviously watching part 1, but yeah, I'll see you guys next time for part 2. Of course, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe for more videos just like this, and don't forget to share this video as well. But with that being said, I hope you guys are excited because part 2 will be coming out pretty soon.